This is the Simplistic Reviews Podcast. They talk movies. They talk TV. They talk incessantly. I am your announcer and supreme overlord, Julie. I will rule you with an iron hand. All carbon units will bow down to my superior intellect. Shudder in fear before me, you puny insignificant mortals.
Julie.
Fine. To be continued. Here are your hosts, Matthew Stewart, DJ Valentine, and Justin Polizzi.
Hello, Leningrad. Justin told me.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Justin told me the site's big in Russia, so I'm just catering to the audience. Hello, rest of the world. This is the Simplistic Reviews Podcast, as stated a second ago by a $30 million cyborg announcer, Julie. I'm DJ Valentine, along with it, Tell Me I'm Wrong guy. I'm joined by horror film buff Matthew Stewart and the overall Renaissance man that is Justin Polizzi. How you guys doing?
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
It's like a vampire and Bane have joined the podcast. Every month and every 2 weeks, we'll be doing this podcast. Pretty much talking movies, talking TV. It's fun.
Talking shit.
Nobody gets killed. We try to, when people get killed, and I'm tired of burying bodies. So
I'm tired of killing them.
You're tired of killing them.
I'm tired of playing with them.
Why would you
peanut butter jar again?
I sit there with the train set and nobody wants to play with me.
It's a train bumping into the head of a dead person. doesn't go around anymore.
He's kind of like Danny DeVito in Throw Mama from the Train.
Kind of like Danny DeVito during sex.
Kind of like Danny DeVito. Just Danny DeVito. The guy is completely nuts. I mean, he's divorced. The only stability in his life now. He's probably just a crazy short guy running around drinking and partying and fucking. He's nuts.
Fucking and fucking nuts.
He's nuts, man. That guy's crazy. I don't think Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a show. I just think they follow him around with the actors, and he just starts doing shit. That show I love that show. And that show kind of just died off. It's like one of those painful deaths where like you just want them to go away. It's
and
that
like,
bad.
They're having like old timers, and then they're like having a stroke at the same time, and then they're trying to juggle cats, and if the cats fall, then millions of babies die.
And they all have AIDS.
It's like that. And they all have AIDS. They're all lit on fire. Damn. That's the best way to sum that up.
I haven't seen it in like 2 seasons, so the memory I have of it was funny.
I just know Matt got fat.
That's the last I heard. Yeah. I haven't heard anything from it since.
Like the Halloween episode was interesting. Like it was a different format, which I respect that. But then it just kicked me in the balls again.
All right, get us back on track.
Okay, yeah. So this first segment we like to call talking shit. If you haven't gathered that already.
Yes.
I was watching TV yesterday, and I saw a trailer for Pacific Rim. I don't know if you guys seen like the internet stuff for it. I
still haven't seen it yet. No.
No, it's like Cloverfield if it was good. Apparently, like I remember watching Cloverfield when it first came out. And I'm like, oh, this looks fucking badass. It's gonna be monsters and I get to see shit. And then I watched the film and boobies, something. And then I watched the movie and it's just
no boobies. The boobies never came.
No monster. I see like the monster
boobies never came.
I see like no monster for like the entire film until like the last 3 minutes, and it's fucking T.J. Miller narrating my nightmares the whole fucking time. It's horrible. But Pacific Rim looks like it's gonna like give me what I want, because the commercial is just a fucking monster. The first thing they show you is a monster. So
you see Idris Elba in it?
No, it was just it was like a news broadcast, and like it's kind of like Battle Los Angeles, but with a big ass monster killing people.
Nice. Like,
And then they kill it. They kill it in a commercial. I'm like, oh wow, I guess this will be the end of the movie. And they're like, oh no, there's just one monster in this.
And then Bill Cosby comes out.
Bill Cosby jumps out of there.
Dead dad.
Ghost monster.
Ghost Dad, the monster movie.
Ghost dad.
All he does is eat pudding. That's how he sustains his big weight. And
Your affinity for Ghost Dad. Your affinity for
horribly.
Your affinity for Ghost Dad is very alarming. I mean, I don't even know if that's on DVD. I think they just like said, nah.
One day I will add that to my Blu-ray collection.
Absolutely, it's definitely Blu-ray worthy.
Really?
Definitely.
It's something worthy. It's worthy of. I'm telling you, when they were probably deciding on what to put on Blu-ray, there's nobody that was like,
Ghost Dad came up.
We gotta put Blu-ray Ghost Dad on.
Listen, this technology is remarkable, and let me just put my foot down first and say, Ghost Dad needs to be number one.
If I have a store that's
What about Stanley? What about Stanley Cooper? No.
If I'm selling,
Ghost Dad.
If I own
Cooper's
a store
a hack.
that's
Bill
selling,
Cosby's a national fucking treasure.
except for that time where he,
Everybody,
Rape the boy.
hey, everybody rapes a young person every once in a while.
well, he didn't rape a young person. I think he just cheated on his wife with a younger person.
Oh, that too.
With a crippled.
Yeah, or he pulled a Morgan Freeman. He was like, I'm gonna try and date somebody who's attractive.
Well, he's trying to keep it all in the family.
Wait a minute. Wait. What do you mean keep it all in the family?
Didn't like Morgan Freeman's like dating his distant cousin or some crazy shit like that?
Oh no! Don't ruin March of the Penguins for me.
I didn't say he was like having sex with her while he was narrating, but
Spoiler.
yeah, spoiler alert: Morgan
March of the
Freeman
Penguins.
fucks his family.
You're watching March of the Penguins. You got your kid, and all of a sudden, Morgan Freeman is like, "Oh yeah,
It's like,
oh, yeah.
oh man, you know how to work a dick, young lady.
Andy Dufresne."
Let me show you some of my toys.
Andy Dufresne worked a fine dick.
Crawl through a river of shit and suck the dick on the other side.
He climbed through my river of shit. Oh, boy.
Anything else you guys want to talk shit about, or do you
No,
want to?
I think he did a good job.
Nah.
We didn't say anything meaningful about anything.
Well, that's why it's shit. Saying that you brought up a climb through a river of shit, it's almost synonymous with the segment.
Yes.
Our
yes, they
tangents
are.
are remarkable.
All right, so a month in reviews is where we think of a word, or we come up with a word, or we tell you a word that encapsulates or sums up the month of November for us. Justin, do you want to start with your word of the month?
My word of the month. If I said November as my word of the
that would be apropos. It would make sense.
would that be okay?
Yes.
Well, really, I would say Bond would be my one word.
What'd you think of this guy? Well, this is interesting, seeing that
Because
we love Skyfall, and
Go ahead. Go ahead.
somebody else here doesn't like Skyfall. So
What do you mean somebody else here?
Me!
Well, he's the only one.
yeah,
Really?
he's the only one. So
Do I get
He's the only one on the
Do I
plank.
get a chance to defend myself on why I
Yes.
don't like it?
you can.
I respect
All right,
that.
here you-
I respect
here
that.
you
So Justin, tell us
Here you
why
go.
you like. Tell us
All
why
right.
you like Skyfall first, and then Matt can rebunk you.
Yeah. Do you like Mission Impossible 2?
Yes, it did.
Oh God.
Oh, sweet heavenly
Oh, wait,
Jesus!
look, we're not talking about Mission Impossible 2. We're talking about bullshit Skyfall.
Oh Jesus, it's bullshit, Skyfall. Continue, Justin. Continue and tell us why.
No. Well, wait, me?
Yeah, it's your word of the month. Bond, Skyfall. I'm assuming they're synonymous.
Well, I mean, 50th anniversary, 50 years.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty impressive for any franchise. Nowadays, especially, so many times that the franchise could have crashed and burned, but picked ourselves up
Die another day.
and moved on. Yeah, well, that was a sad day for a lot of people.
A dark day.
And when you get, raped by Morgan Freeman on the same day as you watch Die Another
Yeah,
Day,
it's pretty awful.
doesn't really help out.
Pretty awful.
But yeah, you got that, and and I like Skyfall, and to see a film that lasted 50 years, a film franchise, is quite remarkable, if you ask me. I mean, you can't really do that nowadays, can you?
No.
With really anything.
The Simpsons is essentially the only thing.
I mean, really, and the only time they do anything like that is like Twilight, and they stretch out to 2 parts, which, you know, kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, it's Bond, baby.
What didn't you like about Skyfall, Matt? And we will beat you with sticks after you say it.
Okay, I just got 3 words for you: Komodo dragon jumping.
Is that the only?
That's it?
Yeah. Well, there's more. Well, what else? That's the big bugaboo I have. Okay, here's my breakdown of Skyfall. The reason that it annoys me in some ways is that, and you can also check out the reviews that we all posted 3 different reviews on the website too, so you can have our text reviews if you don't want to hear my annoying Jewish voice. It's an inconsistency of the Bond movie where it has moments like Komodo dragon jumping, but then it jumps right back into a movie that's taking itself very seriously and it's very earnest. So why put Komodo dragon jumping in the middle of it? Yeah, I understand you're supposed to be. It's a tribute to 50 years of Bond, and
Live and Let Die.
It's okay for a Bond fan. Fine. I mean, it's a tribute because you have ridiculous stuff, and then you have the other thing. It didn't bother me at the time, but it kind of bothered me a little bit now.
Well, can I interject?
Oh yeah, of course.
Was it the jumping, or was it the Chinamen getting pulled away from the other Komodo dragon?
That was a little ridiculous too, because I don't think a Komodo dragon could probably do that to a grown ass 400-pound fucking Samoan or whatever he was. He was a big Chinaman. Is that the right nomenclature?
I think it's sumo wrestler, actually.
Sumo wrestler, whatever he is. A big Chinaman gets pulled away by a Komodo dragon. Granted, the Komodo dragon was kind of big, but it wasn't like a T-Rex. Right. It wasn't the Velociraptor from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It was an animal. I don't know.
Right.
Sorry.
So it was the jumping. It was the jumping mostly.
The jumping was, yeah, that was a little ridiculous. I can accept the fact that, okay, a guy, he got bit, he's in pain, he gets pulled away. But jumping on a animal or a Komodo dragon to get out of a pit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it came off a little.
It came off
cringy.
Yeah, it came off hokey, but if you go back to the old Bond movies, Sean Connery, Roger Moore, there was a lot of hokiness in it. So it's a throwback.
Well, I think it was mostly it was mostly a nod to Live and Let Die, jumping on alligators.
There you go. Okay.
There you go. See?
Yeah. So because they tried fitting that in a lot. There's a lot of moments. Watching the film, you'll see it's kind of like Die Another Day, where they had all the gadgets and everything.
Yeah, which I don't like that movie either, because that's too hokey. It's like too like, oh my god, ridiculous.
Right, the movie's bad.
Right. So this was better that way. They didn't put it right there in front of you. They kind of snuck it in there a little bit, so only certain people would kind of notice maybe the first round, and then they saw it a second time, then they noticed that it something else. But yeah, I think when they did that, they didn't really expect it, and it kind of came off a little cheesy. I grant you that it did come off cheesy,
but I think that's more. But I understand what you're saying on that, but just to me,
it's a film.
There's more moments in that movie where, like, I was surprisingly touched, or I was like, this is freaking awesome, where I'm going to be derailed by a Komodo dragon. It takes a lot to do. Maybe I'm just more patient with films, or like...
What was your problem with
me? I love Skyfall.
You had no issues with it whatsoever?
I was the only person that had issues, yeah.
The only person...
No, I wrote
there's certain things where... I know it's not perfect. I'm just comparing it to the overall Bond movie. There's nothing in that film that I'm going to be like, oh, this movie's bad. Because I can always say, Die Another Day, it was almost like getting cock-slapped watching that movie. And then when I watched Skyfall, this movie is like, that scene where, spoiler alert, or I'm not going to really spoil it, but the scene at the very end when he's talking to M in the church, I was like, wow, I'm feeling genuine emotion in a Bond movie? That to me, was like amazing. You would never get that from View to a Kill. Put it that way. You're not gonna.
Well, no, you got it from Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yes.
Bond loses his wife.
That was the last time I'd ever seen a scene like that where I was just like, wow, that was really touching. Even in Casino Royale, when Vesper,
the shower.
The shower was good, but the most touching moment you would think would be when Vesper spoiler alert, on the roof. And he's not even
Yeah.
crying there. The only time he's ever cried is with them.
Yeah.
That's the only time I'd ever seen him.
Because she was the mother figure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
That he never
that
had.
scene to me, that's why I say it was like the most dramatic Bond I'd ever seen, because there's
Yeah.
moments where you're just like, wow, that was a really good scene. So I mean, Komodo Dragon, I agree. It's probably somebody in the studio. It's probably the Broccoli's or whatever. Hey, let's put a dragon in there. But I mean, I just take it as an overall. The first opening scene of that movie, I don't care what anybody says. That's probably the best action scene you're
I
gonna
agree.
see.
I like that scene. That set the tone, and I thought I was going to get some good action. But the action in that movie also was very few and far between. I mean, you had maybe that was the big action set piece, and then you really didn't have a lot of set pieces after that in terms of action. It was a lot of kind of prodding along almost. There was some scenes of like a lot of. You had the montage sequence of him trying to get back into shape, kind of, but it's like. It came off as very Batman, Dark Knight Rises to me, which is, it was like literally biting off Dark Knight Rises, which is okay. I understand you're trying to make James Bond Batman in a way, but it's like that's already been done.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's a different. I say character, but I understand this. You know, when people see that.
Really, my biggest pet peeve, biggest issue with that film was the idea that he is too old to be Bond.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple years ago, he was the young one, and he just started.
Now he's the old.
Now
one.
he's old suddenly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that got to me the most. Where I'm like, are you kidding me? Just one film between, and now he's old. He's broken down, and he needs to retire. Because there's a lot of jokes about him being old.
Yeah.
Have they seen Never Say Never Again, or View to a Kill, or Die Another Day? Because those Bonds have been old before, and way more embarrassingly, by the way.
Well, yeah.
But this was more part of the story. This was more thrown in there, and we just had Casino Royale where he's young, and it's not a problem. That's not going to kill it for me. But yeah, that kind of just it hurt me a little bit.
It was a little odd. Like just making somebody
raped.
old that quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt,
and if you look at everyone has their opinion on this particular matter, but I'm from the idea that Bond is the same guy. Every actor is the same Bond.
Some people say it's a different. It's a code
They get
name.
that from mostly Casino Royale,
Yeah.
the comedy spoof.
Yeah.
Where they have that, different 007s. So if you look at that, and from my point, he is the same James Bond, and then you throw M in the mix there. This film kind of changes how I viewed where it started, and because you have GoldenEye as her first appearance, so you gotta rearrange things now.
GoldenEye's kind of like takes place like Skyfall's at the end of Skyfall would happen probably after Die Another Day, but Casino Royale and Quantum would be before GoldenEye.
Right. It's like
I can see that.
bookended now, like between the 50 years almost. The first two are kind of in the front. We got Skyfall now in the back, which is nice because then you have a whole new journey you can go on with a new M and a new Moneypenny, and you got Q now, so that's fine. But yeah, it just kind of, the whole oldness thing kind of changed it, kind of warped it for me. But hey, it is what it is. It's a film. It was a good film, and you don't really get to see too many good films in the movie theater these days.
Twilight. Sorry. Matt, do you have a word of the month?
A word of the month. Let's throw out there Obama.
Obama. Okay.
Obama. That's all I got. What do you think of? What do you, I mean, we could deviate a little bit from kind of talking movies. I mean, Obama. What do you think? I mean, give a few words about just what you thought about, because we did a few movies on election movies and stuff like that, and kind of the political process, if you will. Those 3 reviews. So
I know whenever they do the Obama movie starring Will Smith, which is probably going to happen.
I would
That's just like
see that.
So yeah, I could see that being really, really successful or whatever. It's probably gonna be made after this term and he's out of office. Then they'll probably make it. But
Yeah.
well, I mean, when it comes to election films and stuff like that, I picked Election because it was a very funny film to me. I didn't think it was going to be what it was. But my favorite election film it's got to be American President, just to me, because you got effing Michael Douglas as the president of the United States. Nothing gets fucking better than that. The only thing that could be better is Danny Glover as the president of the United States, which is amazing. In 2012, when the world is ending.
Or Morgan Freeman in Deep Impact.
Oh, Jesus, Morgan Freeman.
Why does he keep coming back in our conversations?
He's God the President. An incestuous uncle or grandfather, whatever the hell he is.
Well, you get lonely in the Oval Office.
I guess my word of the month would probably be Levitt, as in Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This is rumor that came out this week about him playing Batman in the Justice League movie. Yeah. Pisses me off for the simple fact that it stems from DC not getting out of their own damn way. You see Marvel doing Avengers. They do this great film.
Well, they have a game plan.
Yeah, they have a game plan. And they have so many hurdles to jump over. DC has none of these things. They own every one of their characters.
To make a football term, I guess they're just Hail Marying it, TC. Right out of the gate.
But I mean,
yeah.
Do you want to
just throwing it? Let's see if they like it.
Well, it's like throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. Batman's stuck.
Do you want to watch a Justice League movie with a faux Batman? Why would you want to watch that? He's essentially.
Robin.
I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I would love if his name was Dick Grayson instead of John. Whatever his name, John Stewart, John Scott, John
Robin
Blake.
Robin Blake.
John Blake. His name was John Robin Blake. Would you want to watch that guy as Batman? No, you want to see freaking Batman. DC just can't get out of their own way. And honestly, in my opinion, Christopher Nolan.
He needs to get out of there, I think.
His thoughts about
Dark
Knight.
Well,
but he's not
fully away because he's
running Man of
Steel.
Steel.
Not in charge of the Superman movie, but
he is.
Superman's following down the
movie.
same path as Batman.
Him, and
he's Godfather. He's the Godfather.
He's the Godfather of DC and Warner's right now.
His thoughts about comic books are simply this: I don't like comic books. I don't care what the fans think, and that I'm going to transcend comic books, which is fine for The Dark Knight. It works perfectly for The Dark Knight. It does not work for Superman. It does not work for the Justice League. It does not work for Flash.
He's not writing it, nor is he directing it.
His brother's writing it, and he's like the producer of it.
If his brother's writing it, that means Christopher Nolan's writing it.
Yeah, and when I watched the trailer for The Man of Steel, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this movie. And I know Matt already has the apprehension because you're not a big Zack Snyder fan.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
What is that is that a threat or is that a promise?
I don't know. You said it.
But when I watch,
I like him. I was never a big Superman fan, and I'm interested. Let's put it that way.
But it's not going to be Superman, not the way I remember it. It's going to be Superman. See,
good.
But I mean, if you make all your characters essentially in the same dreary ass universe, the thing that makes Batman and Superman work great is that Batman is dreary and Superman is the Boy Scout. You don't want to have
two dark characters.
Yeah. Here I'm Superman. I'm Batman. They're all depressed. Superman is supposed to be the optimistic, go-getting, colorful, happy hero. Batman is the realist. It's like a realist and an optimist. You don't have two realists in a room because it's going to be this. I guess saving the world is pretty fucking pointless. I guess go back to Metropolis. Go back to Gotham. No, the reason why Batman keeps.
I mean, You don't know yet. You know what I mean? You don't know if he's going to be.
I hope I'm wrong.
It just has that look to it that they're going the dark route. And it's confusing because they go dark Batman, they're going to go dark Superman, but then they go cheery, colorful, Marvel type Green Lantern.
Yeah.
You have an identity crisis on. They have an identity crisis over in DC.
DC.
Oh yeah.
It's like the crisis on Infinite Earths in real life.
And now they're making a Wonder Woman show. And it's not her. The person who's playing Wonder Woman. It's not Wonder Woman. It's like her name is Iris now, and she's not.
Well,
what?
No, that's just for casting purposes. Her name will be Dana.
It better be, because everything I keep hearing, it sounds like they keep getting in their own way, and they have no reason to do that. If Marvel had to do that, I could understand it, because they have to worry about, well, Sony owns Spider-Man and Fox owns it. DC owns all their shit. Why can't they just do exactly what the hell they want to do?
Yeah, I wouldn't rush to judgment on this.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm being as a preemptive.
I think the thing that you could say is the way they go about it, game plan wise, which they don't have. You know what I mean?
They do not.
Haven't really seen anything yet, because really Superman will be the first part of this overall plan. So
yeah, maybe, and then they'll probably reboot. I could see them rebooting Batman before they do a Justice League movie.
But they're saying they're not going to reboot Batman. It's going to be Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character from The Dark Knight Rises, which is I don't think that's a good idea. At this
point. I mean, who knows?
I don't
think it's going to happen.
I hope it's a rampant, stupid
Sadly,
speculation.
I think they're gonna reboot it.
When
But
I heard that, I was like, oh, please tell me this is bullshit. Please.
I think the best thing you should do with Batman is just wait a few years and don't even think about it for DC's, WB or DC, and then come up with one hell of a game plan, because then they can put themselves in a position to make a nice reboot, and then follow it into somewhat of Justice League, and then follow it into Batman Beyond.
Do it in reverse. Do it in reverse. By the way, I was reading a website, Justin. You'd love to hear this, and they were talking about They were talking about greatest cartoons that should be movies.
Yeah.
Number one on the list.
Batman Beyond.
Number one on the list is Batman Beyond.
I do see that being.
I do believe it could be the greatest thing ever, but they have to do it the right way, and I don't think they're going to do it the right way.
I don't. If they can't get Superman, if they can't figure out how to do a Superman movie, this is like their third time trying to do it. You think they're going to be able to do Batman Beyond without effing it up?
No, because you need to plant the seed prior to doing Batman Beyond. You need to establish Batman.
You got to establish Amanda Waller. You got to establish Star Labs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Levitt, who I love. Levitt would be great if he was originally like, okay, we're going to name him Dick Grayson. He's Robin. Now he's Nightwing. I'd be like, fine, because he's a great actor. I think he's the future.
You could start off Justice League, and then he could be like getting his name changed to
oh boy.
Dick Grayson.
The movie opens where he's in line at the courthouse. I'm legally changing my name to Bruce Wayne.
I'd high five DC for doing that. That's ballsy. That'd be a ballsy thing.
That does have some balls to do something that stupid.
Oh man!
He changes his middle name to like Spider-Man Wolverine.
My middle name's Marvel now. What?
Yeah.
Shut up.
What
Get
you
out of
gonna
here.
do about it, son? All right. Hey, Justin, you want to play a game?
Okay.
Julia, hit the music and do the game.
Time for the game that's fun for the whole family. It's Russian roulette.
No.
No? Okay, well let's play word association then. Today's contestant is Justin Polizzi.
First word.
Disney.
Oh boy. Disney?
Yes.
Scared.
Why scared? Why scared?
Well, you're referring to Star Wars, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. It could go the right way, but I think they're gonna go the Twilight way and just jam it down people's throats until the day we all die, and produce more and more merchandise to the point where it's gonna be pouring out of our mouth and our eyes and our ears. So I'm scared.
Okay, Julie's second word.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. I wish the word was I wish the word
Cancer.
was cancer. Why cancer?
Have you seen any of it?
No.
We'll watch it and then you'll know.
Have you seen
Red
somebody
Dawn?
with cancer?
Red Dawn is the
Red Dawn.
After watching Red Dawn, you're telling me they have chemo booths outside of the theaters?
Your hair will be falling out when you watch that movie. There's no point to that film. there's no point to that film, and because it's an 80s film, it works for that time period. It's the storyline works for that time period. Does not work nowadays. Does not work nowadays. So yeah, cancer.
Third
because
word.
they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing shit like that.
They're gonna keep
remakes
doing
that don't work. It's a cancer. It's a cancer to the whole film industry.
I can't disagree. I haven't seen it, but I can only imagine how god awful that movie is. Third word.
Twilight.
Twilight.
Death. Whereas Red Dawn is cancer from all the remakes. Luckily, they don't do remakes with those films. They actually do, from what I understand, they actually do carbon copies of the book, which isn't necessarily the greatest thing to do on screen. Because, for example, characters appear in books randomly, and in films, when they appear randomly, it doesn't really work out for the viewer to watch. So when you watch those films, and I've tried, oh,
Brave man.
You a
oh,
brave
have I
son of a
tried?
bitch.
Oh, have I tried? And I've seen a little bit of the new one,
Oh god, I've only seen the ending. That's the only thing I've seen.
the fight scene thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, Death is the first word that comes to my mind because, first of all, acting, storyline, everything just falls apart. Lighting, special effects, just look horrific. If you laugh, it's not a laughing matter.
This is serious.
I'm sorry, it's so bad. It's
serious.
so true.
It's you can't make this up.
No.
And there's a part where a certain character wants to sleep with a certain character's baby.
Oh my god. Why do we keep going into this? It's not really incest, it's more pedophilia. But continue.
It's beyond that. It really is beyond that. It's beyond the whole Elmo thing.
It's funny you say that because your fourth word is
Elmo.
I was
very funny you say that.
Twilight.
It's a vicious circle.
It's
the circle of life, man.
Yeah.
Death, cancer. Oh, it's all connected there. Yeah. Well, hey, job opened up, so maybe we can practice the voice for that.
This has been word association. If you feel dirty after listening to that, then we've accomplished our goal.
It all does connect if you think about it.
Oh man,
Pop it
that
up
may have
their
been
ass.
the most controversial game of word association that we will ever have. Matt, you're gonna have to top it next
It
time.
will get better. Or worse.
Or worse.
I think
One or the other.
Anytime where you have one of the words that you use is cancer,
And then death.
and then death is a good one. Death is like, oh, okay, death.
Well, no, if you listen, I know it can be jokey and goofy and all, but it honestly is the truth if you think about it. Like if you watch the Red Dawn remake, it really is a cancer. It really. I know it sounds goofy, but
I was gonna watch it before we started taping today, and I was like, nah, no.
yeah.
Well, it's good because you don't have cancer.
That's good. You helped me.
That in the Twilight film.
It's too late for me on that one. I'm dead.
If you watch both on the same day, one after the other, no one will ever hear from you ever again.
The double feature. All right, now we're gonna do a TV roundup. Matt, did you want to talk about anything on television, on the telly?
On the telly. I mean, I don't know. A few of the things that I'm watching right now. Still keeping up on Walking Dead. I know, DJ, you said you're behind. Justin, are you caught up on Walking Dead or no?
I'm behind.
All right. It's that Boardwalk Empire I'm catching up on right now.
I'm on with that.
Comic
Let's
Book
talk
Men.
about that.
I don't know if you guys watch Comic Book Men, but
I try not to.
it's contrary to popular belief. Even if you don't like Kevin Smith, you still might like Comic Book Men.
I've seen two or three.
Is that filmed in Jersey?
Yeah, it's in a comic book shop in Jersey and Red Bank, right? Justin?
Yeah. I've seen 2 or 3 episodes.
I've only seen the one episode at your place.
Oh, yeah, after Walking Dead, yeah. I think it's fine. I mean, it was an hour show the first season. Now they've got it down to a half-hour show. Plus the fact it's on at 11:30 on Sunday, which I don't know what AMC's doing. I think AMC's kind of saying, or we want to cancel the show because we know nobody's going to watch it at 11:30 on AMC on Sundays. So I don't know. Maybe they're happy they get 10 viewers and they're okay with that. But I think it's a problem. Me personally, liking the show, it's a little bit of an issue.
The time slot's the problem.
The time slot. Here's the problem I have with AMC. You have Walking Dead at 9 o'clock. Then you have Walking Dead at 10 o'clock. It's like, okay, I guess watch the show. So obviously I'm not going to watch it again.
FX does the same thing with Justified. They Justified at 10 and then 11.
Yeah,
well, they do that with all their shows, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have new shows that come after, like Justified. Justified plays Justified, and then it's like, I don't know, they're showing infomercials for Muscle Milk or some shit on FX. But on AMC you have Walking Dead, but then you have Talking Dead and Comic Book Men. Why don't you just do Walking Dead, Talking Dead, Comic Book Men, and then you replay your Walking Dead again at 11 o'clock?
I think you're using logic.
Yeah, but they were probably saying a replay of Walking Dead is probably going to get us better ratings than a new episode of Comic Book Men. That's essentially why they probably did that.
That's true.
Yeah, but I also think they're selling Talking Dead short because you would think people want to watch Talking Dead after they get done watching The Walking Dead.
Well, because but he's on that too. Talking Dead, correct?
Well, it's that Chris Hardwick is like the host of it and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he comes on once in a while, right?
He comes on like it's like, oh, today's hashtag is I'm stupid. So it's something like that.
So that would be a nice transition period to do that.
It would make sense. I don't know. I really honestly don't know why AMC does that. And now AMC's going to have a real problem once Breaking Bad's gone because they got to fill.
Yeah, well, I think that's the issue. I think you nailed it. I don't think they really care that much for Comic Book Man because that's gone, right? It's in their final season, whatever, or last season's coming up, right?
Oh, but yeah, Breaking Bad, yeah.
Yeah, I've yet to watch it. I'm just waiting until it's finished, and then I'm just gonna.
I'm 2 seasons in. I stopped after there's an episode called "I Fucked." It's called the name of the episode is called "I Fucked Somebody." I forget the guy's name. That's the name of the episode because
why'd you stop?
I forget his name. It's like Walter. No, it's not Walter. It's like Frank. Ted or something. And the name of the episode is called IFT, and that's the last thing they say in the episode is I fucked Ted.
Well, the only time I'm a big Mad Men fan. So
see, I'm not.
Yeah, it's only for really certain people. Really, if you think about it.
What smart people?
No offense.
No Jews allowed to this show.
Well, in that day and age,
you wait outside by the fire hydrant.
Wait outside. You and your Shylock nose wait outside. Wait over by the corned beef and pastrami.
But that is that's going to be ending. Eventually, in a few seasons. So I think they don't know what the hell they're doing. I think they're just getting ready, and then they're going to have a whole new round of TV shows.
Well, I heard that AMC, they're renewing The Killing, or they're bringing The Killing
back. They brought it back, which I never watched one episode of it. I couldn't. I don't like shows like that.
Used to come on
not
after
Killing shows. I heard it's good, but when I heard what the premise of it was, I was like, you mean I got to wait till the end of the series to find out who killed this fucking kid? Screw it. I don't want to watch it. If it was a different killing every week, I'm in. But if it's like, it's almost like Twin Peaks with the who killed her. I want to know now, or I'm not gonna sit there for 5 seasons for the guy with the umbrella who I said in season 2 was the killer is the killer. Oh great, I don't need to sit through that. That's why I like an old man. I am an old man. That's why I like American Horror Story, where they say, you know what, at the end of every season, that's it. We're rebooting this shit every time. It's different.
It's easier that way too.
Way easier. Recast, new writers, new direction. You never have to worry about, man, I hate this show. Well, if you don't hate this show, don't worry. Wait till next season. It's going to be completely effing different. So, yeah.
I'm with you on that.
You guys watch a lot of highbrow stuff. You've talked about more highbrow stuff than me. I got like a guilty. I don't even know if it's guilty pleasure. I've been watching this Arrow show.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ! I don't know. If for some reason CW puts these shows on where I'm like, this looks awful, I have to watch it.
And
like,
you do.
And I do. Like La Femme Nikita came out, I was like, this looks awful. But Maggie Q's hot. I'll watch it. That's essentially my thinking. It's like, this looks, I mean, everything I'm looking at this looks, Shane West, this is bad. Wait, Maggie Q's hot, I'll watch it. So I'm watching the commercial for Arrow, and I'm like, this looks like Smallville. It's essentially Smallville. So I'll watch the first episode, and I'll just, write a review on it and shit on it. And I watched the first episode, and the first episode, I mean, Justin, you're a DC head, you know DC stuff. I don't remember Green Arrow being a murderer.
Yeah.
I mean, murderer.
That was the talk on the web.
I mean, good God. It's like he killed like 8 people the first episode.
Well, guess what? I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either. It makes it different than Small. Because at first it starts off just like Smallville, where like, melodrama with the family.
My family's gone.
I gotta
I'm
hide
on an island.
I'm gonna hide my secret from my family. And then it's like Smallville. And then he gets into a fight, and did he just break that guy's neck? Oh, did he just stab that guy in the neck with a knife? Oh, did he just throw that guy off a building? So the killing, even though it's uncharacteristic to Green Arrow, makes the show, it's still bad. But it does make it more watchable, because they had, and again, DC, who I think they control every character. They're allowed to put characters in it.
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
I was going to say I respect that show because they have the Royal Flush Gang in there.
Royal Flush Gang. They had Deadshot. They had last week they had what's her name? The Batman's daughter. With Catwoman.
Oracle. The whole.
The the one with the crossbow and the one that was dating the Question. I forget her name for some reason.
Huntress.
Huntress. Thank you. Oh, Jesus. Huntress. Oh, that's who it was.
That's who you're talking about, right?
Her. Yeah, she was on last week. Sorry, Huntress is her name.
Okay, she was on there.
Yeah, she was, and she had the same backstory. She was adopted by this mafia guy, and the guy who's supposedly playing Metallo in the Man of Steel movie, he was there. The guy from Battlestar Galactica. And in the episode, there's a scene where Arrow just snaps this guy's neck like nothing. He's snapping this guy's neck while he's looking at Huntress kill this other guy. And after he breaks his neck, he goes up to Huntress and is like, hey, you need to stop killing people. It's like, did you just kill that guy over there? But no, Arrow is a show that is literally like eating a Krispy Kreme donut. It's not good for you. It's really bad for you. But the sugar makes it acceptable. So, Justin, you see watch any shows other than Mad Men? And is Mad Men even on right now?
No, it's not.
In between seasons.
Sadly, it's not. Really, let me talk about Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm not watching it, so go ahead.
That's it. That's all I'm talking about. Right. No, they finally their balls finally dropped.
Oh, they did something racy and.
Did anyone see it? Matt, you watched it?
I'm only on episode 7 right now, so I'm like about 4.
Okay.
I'm the last. Okay. I don't want to spoil because DJ's kind of on a crusade to kind of not watch it. I don't know.
Well, I don't
want to spoil.
I never thought Boardwalk Empire didn't have balls. The part where Michael Shannon was
the season's gone. I thought they missed a lot of good opportunities. Mm-hmm. So with this season, I thought it should have been a lot more violent and a lot more
shit going
action packed.
All right, where are you getting it then? Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
And
exactly
you get it. You get it. You get it in the last episode, and it's very good. And just the way it was done. I'm trying to not spoil it for anyone. The way it was done was the way it should have been done. Maybe. The 4 or 5 episodes in, because there's only 12 episodes.
Yeah, I think next week is the finale.
Yeah, the final one. Yeah, that's right. It's 12. I believe 12 episodes. Yeah. So to me, they should have had. They keep adding things and they keep stretching out the story, especially this season. Mm-hmm. First season was great. Second season was great. This season just felt like it's stretching, where they should have gotten rid of some characters, and some characters have disappeared, let's say,
okay.
in ways that I don't think justify the greatness of certain characters and stuff like that. So it seems somewhat lazy this season, certain things, certain episodes, and then finally the last episode, I was like, all right, there you go. Your balls have finally dropped for this season. You know, and then we only have one more episode, so it's kind of like, I mean, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. But
there's something about that. Matt, what was my reason why I stopped watching it?
Well, you didn't like it for the main. Okay, I guess I'll speak for DJ.
Yeah, speak for me.
You didn't like it because they got rid of a lot of characters you liked. You didn't like the fact that they pretty much wrote out Chalky White and kind of just not.
Oh no, he's back.
Yeah,
okay.
I've seen that he's coming.
More.
Like he's been in season 3 more than he was in season 2. Season 2 just seemed like he disappeared and it wasn't.
The last episode, Margaret's not even in it, and it's mostly he's in it more. You know, that whole episode, Chalky's in it. So
that's good because I mean I like him a lot as a character, but they kind of
he's great.
They were kind of they were kind of de-developing his character where it was like okay.
It wasn't going where I thought it was going to go. Yeah. I mean,
I think they did that on purpose because in this episode he needs Chalky.
Okay.
Certain people need Chalky, and then Chalky's like, "Hey man,
you
didn't want to talk to me. You didn't want me. Now you come after." Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, the season 2 I think was the reason. I watched all of season 2. I guess it's season 2, right? And
yeah, season 2, yeah.
And I just found myself watching episode after episode where I'm like, I don't like any of these people. They're focusing on people I don't like. I want to stay with Chalky or Steve Buscemi, Nookie, or Michael Shannon at least. But they weren't there. I was focusing on this douchebag who's not on the show anymore, and his mother. And his mother's it's like I don't care about these people. Go back to Nookie. I don't care about any of these damn people.
And they do that. They do that in this season. They go back to the mother and her coping with not having a son, and she gets a new son kind of thing.
I just got done with that episode actually. Yeah, so that was a little bit what the fuck a little bit.
yeah. I didn't really mind it too much, but again, they dragged it on too long and they stretched it out. When you only have 12 episodes, things need to be quicker, and you can't be adding all these characters and storylines and then stretching out and then saying, well, stick around for the final episode because that's the real episode there. That's the real good episode with all the action and the character developments, finally close. But it's kind of like 24 did that. 24 used to do that. Like the good seasons were good, and then like the crappy seasons of 24, they get to like the last episode and then throw all the cards in. Yeah, and then start fresh, and it's kind of like thanks for wasting my time.
It's very interesting you say that because 24 did that a lot, where you're like, I want to either stay with Jack or stay with the president, but then I'm following Chloe on some computer hacking mission with this British bald guy, and now I'm with the drug dealer. I don't care about these people. Show me where the hell. Yeah, show me where Jack is. Where's President Palmer? At least show me DB Woods, something. But they keep. Shows, I guess, they don't want to give you everything, but they make the other characters so... It's not even bad, just...
Yeah, but see, the thing with 24, it had 24 episodes.
Yeah.
This, you only got 12, and then I feel like they stretch it. That'd be my one word, stretching.
Mm-hmm. Well, because the thing with, like, 24, it was 24 one-hour episodes, so you really have to milk the entire season, which can kind of be... It could
Dragon
be
Ball Z-esque.
double-edged sword, because... One, you can make 24 really kick-ass episodes, but then midway, maybe hours 7 through 12 were absolutely crap and filler and really supplied nothing to the story as a whole. So, I mean, if you're going to do 24 one-hour episodes, you really got to bring it strong. Whereas Boardwalk Empire, it's had its ups and downs. That's why I kind of got out of this season about episode 4, and I just wanted to get back now. Yeah. But there were moments interspersed throughout this season so far that are good, really good moments, and like Jip Rossetti adding him as a character and a main character this season was probably the smartest thing they did, because they didn't really have a good antagonist, because you had the antagonist in season 2 who was Jimmy was kind of an antagonist, but he was like conflicted. He was the conflicted antagonist who you didn't know if he was good or bad.
we're gonna do this next segment. I think we call it what did you changed the name of it, Matt. Do you want to introduce the segment?
Simply the best.
Oh my God!
You're simply the best.
It's where we decide on 4 things. Oh God, that literally scared me.
That was Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. That is an amazing video, by the way. It's Tina Turner and a horse. Now, if that doesn't get you to YouTube immediately, I don't know what does.
Two horses and Tina Turner?
No, that sounds like a porno. 2 horses and Tina Turner. This is a segment where we decide on 4 things. We decide what's the best of them all, I guess. Mm-hmm. And because it's Bond month that just passed, the first one is best Bleach Bond baddie.
Whoa.
Yes,
that was
mouthful.
good.
That was a mouthful. You like
Bleach,
that?
like bleached hair.
Bleach hair, yes. Like,
okay.
The 4 we got right now is Silva from Skyfall. We have Stamper from Tomorrow Never Dies.
Correct.
Shaw from Justin. You can
From Russia with Love.
There you go. And then we have Zorn from View to a Kill.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. So, Matt, would you want to throw your hat in the ring on any guy out of those 4 you think is the best Bleach? I screwed it up. Bleach blonde Bond baddie.
I mean, I would have to go. I mean, considering, because I've mentioned this in this month in the Bond reviews, I'm not a Bond fan in terms of the movies. I haven't seen a lot of James Bond movies.
You son of a bitch!
When you mention these other guys, like I know Christopher Walken was a villain. I wouldn't have been able to tell you his name, his villain name, but going by just seeing Skyfall, I mean, I thought Javier Bardem as Silva was a good Bond villain because he was creepy. And he was also kind of when you look at his character and James Bond, they're pretty much the antithesis of each other. You have James Bond, who's relatively new agent, but still like he upholds justice and everything like that. Whereas you have Silva, who's a tweaked version. Like that's basically Bond looking in the mirror at his future. So I think that's kind of scary from a villain standpoint, where you can look at the villain, and you are potentially going to become that villain at some point, maybe.
So you're saying Silva?
Silva. Yeah, saying Silva. So I mean, I guess I would say Silva would be my pick as best of.
Okay, Mr. Palizzi, do you have a difference of opinion? I already know who it is too.
Do you?
It's got to be Shaw. It's got to be Shaw.
Yeah. Well, I apparently wrote the review and never posted it, so I'll be doing that tomorrow then. Because From Russia with Love is my favorite Bond film.
I remember.
And Robert Shaw is just badass.
He's I mean, in that movie, it's his character. I mean, how do you sum up his character? Like, he's just
badass.
They have a what's his name? Spectre? Or is it Smush? Whatever the name of the organization is, the Russian organization that
Spectre,
yeah. They have
Smush.
Smush is
Is that the
you thinking of what the hell is it called?
I forget the damn name, but yeah, the opening.
Get Smart.
Get Smart. That's what it is. Same thing. She's walking through this training ground with all. Yeah. They're doing the craziest exercises you've ever seen.
Well, that's a spoof. That's a spoof in Austin Powers.
Yeah, and then
they open up the door.
Yeah, they open the door and they do the craziest things you've ever seen, and it's serious. And then they get to him, and he's sunbathing with this chick. Yeah. And then the Russian girl picks him up. And this is how she evaluates how badass he is. Robert Shaw stands up, and she says something to him, and then just punches him in the stomach. And he doesn't. And he doesn't even.
But what's in her hand?
Oh, brass knuckles. And she doesn't. He doesn't flinch, and she goes, "He'll do."
He'll do.
That's very badass.
Like I said, badass is the one word you could use for that. Yeah, even for that film.
The only thing I would retort you on his character, I think his name is Grant. Is it Grant?
Right.
Yeah. The only thing I would retort you is that he has less dimensions than Silva. Yeah. But I mean, he's still a complete and utter badass. So there's no doubt about that. I mean, to get punched in the stomach by a Russian KGB defector and just be like, yeah,
He'll do. He's good.
he's
Use
good.
him.
Use him.
Yeah, he's great. And then like the train sequence and stuff like that.
Yeah, train sequence is good. Silva would probably be mine just because I like bad guys that are they can outthink you. Joker comes to mind. He's an outthinker. It's not even the technological stuff. That scene, which I didn't get to talk about, I think I talked about it I don't know if I talked about it in the review, where Silva is introduced and it's all one shot. Is probably one of the greatest scenes I've seen in a movie in the last. It's simple in its simplicity. It's one of the greatest shots I've ever seen in a movie where he comes down on an elevator and he's walking toward Bond and he's delivering this.
Telling the story about the
rats, the creepy
mice.
The
rats. Yeah.
It's the creepiest.
There's going to be 2 rats left.
2 rats. Yeah. And he's telling this creepy story all in one shot. Deakins is shooting it all in one shot. He walks into a close-up right at the exact end of the story. That's pretty much surmised Silva. And it's not just his technological prowess or even his little gay jabs at Bond. It just always seemed like he was one step ahead of, and they even say he's always one step ahead of us. Near the end, he kind of lost some of his, I guess, common sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of sabotaged his character. But on paper, all the way up to the part where he was going to kill him in Parliament, I didn't even like. I love that scene, but as a kid for his character, I didn't really like that as his plan. It should have been a little bit more, because there was no subtlety to that. I'm just going to walk into Parliament and shoot you.
Yeah,
it wasn't really. I mean, I love the scene. The scene's freaking awesome, but it was like, man, you'd think that with his plan, he was going to do something.
You think he would have a
worse
bigger
than
plan?
that. Yeah.
You think it'd be like when they captured him, they used like some kind of like body double clone kind of version of him that had like a bomb put in him.
Like
blew her up.
that's the Dark Knight again. You can't do the Dark
Well,
Knight.
not
a cell phone bomb.
Kinda.
I would say Silva. Shaw again is a badass, but he's pretty much if Stamper had more stuff to do, because Stamper is essentially just a thug.
Yeah,
and
he and the way he goes out is just like
stupid.
Gets me every time.
Hey, there's a missile on my foot. There's a missile on my foot.
He's a nitwit.
I mean, but yeah, Shaw is essentially great Stamper. Zorn.
Well,
it's Christopher Walken essentially. So
it's not the greatest film.
No, it's not.
Begin with.
It's not a good film.
Due to a kill.
I mean, I would probably blame Christopher Walken. He's probably, of all 4 of them, the most psychotic, I would say. If you have any doubts about that, watch the scene where he closes up the mine and he just Uzis 700 people with a smile on his face. He's just laughing, ha 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 ha, and he's just shooting everybody. He's not a.
Well, then he also has that the blimp, and he does that to the guy. Like he's like, you could just leave, and then like kicks him out.
Yeah. He does the Terminator 2 on him. Yeah.
It's kind of badass.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I want a blimp.
Just to kick people out of, or
just to kick people out
that says Polizzi on the side. Just park it at the mall. That'd be a badass move to like just show up to something on a blimp. You're like, damn, this guy's paid. He's on a blimp.
Nobody has a blimp anymore.
It was a blimp. I watch all the football games for free. But yeah, I would have to say Silva. Of all 4 of these guys, Silva is probably have the greatest mind. I love villains with a great mind. Shaw is the most physically imposing of the 4.
It's true.
Very true. He pretty much beats Sean Connery's ass for like 5 minutes. Essentially beats the shit out of him. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Silva. The second best, simply the best, would be best Bond song. I automatically, mine is just easy to come with. Every time I think of Bond, I think of this song, but I'll let you guys go first.
Do we have a list, or you want us to name it?
You can just name it, because there's been a million Bond. There's been 23 Bond songs.
You know,
You can just name. You can
were
just
joking
name.
the other day, but I do like the song. I do like Duran Duran "View to a Kill" because I
love that song.
I think it perfectly encapsulates 1980s Bond movies because it has that techno, like that post-punk techno sound to it. And it is super cheesy, and it fits the movie. I mean, the movie's cheesy, the song is cheesy, so and it's catchy. I mean, that's something you could dance in the club with. And
Well, they're all pretty catchy.
Pretty catchy,
Yeah.
except for.
but this one is like it's like 80s kind of like, I don't know. There's something about it that I just kind of like. I have an affinity for 80s music, just like you, Justin. So it works.
Justin, what is your favorite Bond song?
Well, that's a tough one. That is.
I mean, there's a lot of good ones in there.
If I had to pick one,
Like when you think Bond, a song that just comes right to your head. Matt says Duran Duran "View to a Kill," which is a
yeah,
good,
but
I love Duran Duran.
Since the day I can remember, I've listened to every one on a loop. You know, I really like "Nobody Does It Better."
That's a good one.
And "All Time High."
All Time High is freaking. Have you ever seen the? Well, you've seen it, but Matt, have you seen the opening sequence for that? That's for in
On Kill Bill?
No. All Time High. This is that for your eyes
Octopussy.
only? Octopussy. Oh yeah, that is a crazy opening sequence.
I'm trying to think. How does the song go though?
It's an all-time high. It's really like schlocky.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
You're gonna get lovely tonight.
Oh man.
I mean,
it
is what it is.
It is what you go all-time high is your favorite Bond song.
No, I would say "Nobody Does It Better."
Nobody Does It Better is.
I said yeah, I like. I mean, I love them all, but I would say if I had to pick one, "Nobody Does It Better." It's used a lot in like documentaries and stuff about Bond.
Yes.
Especially like when Q died.
Yeah.
They did a montage with that song, so it's kind of like the second Bond theme song almost.
Yes. It's up there.
I love them all though.
Yeah.
Like, I love. I even love Moonraker, and then Thunderball, and You Only Live Twice, Her Majesty's Secret Service. I mean, they're all badass, really, because they all fit, like Matt said. A lot of them, essentially almost all of them, fit their time period and that particular film.
Yeah.
So it's not like they just randomly picked one from the archives and said, all right, we're going to use that. They all have a special handmade quality to them for that particular film.
My honorable mention, for some reason, I don't know why I love the hell out of this song. Well, I know why, because it's fucking awesome. It's gotta be. This is not my favorite Bond song of all time, but if I want to get in the mood for Bond, I throw on "You Know My Name." It's so freaking badass by Chris Cornell for Casino Royale. That is like the opening sequence, the song. It's badass. If I had to, get in the mood to watch a bunch of Bond films, I'm probably just listening to that song. And it's new. It's one of the newer songs, but I love it. I love the opening sequence. I mean,
it's a good song.
I would watch the opening title sequence with the cards and the little animation stuff. It's great. But if I had to pick a song, if somebody put a gun to my head and said, think of a James Bond song, the first one comes to me is Goldfinger. I don't know what it is about that song. I mean, I heard
epic.
Dame Shirley Bassey perform it live. It's on YouTube. If you ever get a chance to just look at it, she does it live, and she's like the Coconut Grove Club somewhere. It's like some weird. I think it's called the Coconut Grove Club. I believe that's what it's called. It's like there's palm trees and stuff, and she's doing it live, and she is so into it. It is badass.
Yeah,
and she sings the.
She needs to do one more Bond film.
She's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Skyfall's another one that Skyfall and Audio Slave are kind of in my honorable mentions because I never really liked Adele at all. my sister would tell me about her, and I would be like, eh. And then I heard the Skyfall song, and it reminded me of Diamond.
She'd tell you the stories.
Yeah,
the stories of when she was young.
And then I heard the Skyfall song, and it just reminded me of Diamonds Are Forever, and I was like,
yeah, it's good. And it sucks when you're in the movie theater and there's only 2 speakers working.
Oh, man.
And it's very dull.
And you gotta go to the theater and watch it again. You did you see it twice in the theater or only once in the theater?
No, I saw it a few times. Yeah,
but yeah,
I got a problem.
Crack and help.
And I'll probably be seeing it Tuesday.
I mean, I saw it twice, and then I watched it online twice.
Yeah,
so
I did too. I watched it once online.
I mean, just for the review, when I was doing the review for it, I watched it just so I can get enough information for the review to pinpoint stuff. But I didn't enjoy it watching it online, so I got to actually hear Adele in the theater, and that song is very good. I mean, Shirley Bassey has done a whole bunch of Bond songs, and I think if they play their cards right, Adele could do the same thing. She could do if I was them, I'd be like, you know what, Adele, we're gonna make you like Shirley Bassey, and you're gonna do 3 Bond songs in a row.
But she's only like 24, 25.
Yeah, she's young.
Yeah, Adele's young, yeah.
And she's
so
great.
I would definitely have her or Shirley do another one, because apparently she was supposed to do Quantum.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that rumor is, but the song is apparently out there on YouTube.
Oh, I would love to hear
the version that they were working on.
I'm not even. I like Quantum though.
I do. Yeah, it's fine, but I want one more of her.
Yes.
To do one, maybe the next one.
I'm surprised they didn't do it for this one. I mean, if it's like 50th anniversary, you would have thought they would have done that.
Shirley Bassey come back. You know what? I just did it. Shirley Bassey, Adele duet. Bam!
Yeah. She's the closest. I think Adele's the closest so far to Shirley. So yeah, it works.
But yeah, Goldfinger is amazing. It's just the way she hits that last note in the YouTube video. It is freaking. I was just getting it for a link for the review, and I watched it, and I was like, damn, she is loving singing. It's like you can just tell she loves singing this song.
Yeah, she does. She's old. She's old.
Yeah, she is. So
to be able to sing that like perfect.
Yeah.
Even at the tender age of
70,
whatever it is.
Tender age
of 233.
She's a Highlander from the Clan MacLeod. So now we're going to talk about looking ahead for this month of December. A word that you're looking forward to in this upcoming month. Matthew Stewart, what is your word?
For looking ahead?
Yes, sir.
You could say Django.
Django with the D is silent. You're looking forward to Quentin's spaghetti western epic.
I think everybody is. I mean, unless you're just out of the loop and you don't like movies. I think it's more of a fact of like if you don't like movies, you probably don't care about this movie coming out. But this is kind of like a big month, like December. Quentin Tarantino, because they're rescreening both Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction early this month on the 4th and the 6th. I'm going to both.
Are they what at a particular theater?
You have to look up theaters in your area, but I know down here in South Florida, they're doing it at Sawgrass movie theater, and they're doing it at the Aventura movie theater, and they're doing it at Cinemark over in Davie. You know those theaters, DJ, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
the old movie co. Yeah.
There's a one time only showing. Well, I don't know if only, but there's a one-time showing of Reservoir Dogs on Tuesday and a one-time showing of Pulp Fiction on Thursday. So it's kind of
you guys are lucky.
Yeah,
that's lucky. Yeah,
you might have it in your area, Justin. You should check. It might be they might be playing it. They has to be if it's playing down here. It's got to be playing.
It's nationwide. It's not only down here.
We don't get films in New Jersey.
We've never heard of a movie.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Only grief.
I'm confused right now.
It might be. And Django is important because I don't know if you guys saw the interview with him. This might be his last film. He's talking about retiring soon because he's so pissed about the transition from film to digital, and he's like, I'm gonna just write books and shit because I'm good with this whole. He calls it TV in public. That's essentially what films look like now because you can't even get film projectors in theaters. So he says this is not what he signed up for. So Django might be one of the last hurrahs.
Where do I sign up?
I'll sign up right now.
But yeah, I mean, what word you got, DJ?
My word is Reacher, as in Jack Reacher. Who's my favorite writer of all time? You have no idea because you do not know
Sylvia
me.
Plath.
No, not her. Christopher McQuarrie, the writer of The Usual Suspects, and my favorite movie of all time, The Way of the Gun, is writing and directing Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise. I've seen the trailer. It's freaking awesome. I'm a big fan of Christopher McQuarrie because the way he writes is the way I would love to know how to write. I mean, I try and emulate him when I write. So his dialogue is always awesome. If you've ever seen Way of the Gun, it has arguably the greatest shootout scene in the history of cinema, in my opinion.
Wild Bunch.
Wild Bunch is there, but I mean, there's a lot of slow-mo in Wild Bunch, and Way of the Gun ain't no slow-mo. It feels like you're in a gunfight. Jack Reacher, it's a plot about he's a military police officer, and he's investigating a crime, and it has Werner Herzog as the bad guy. Now, if that doesn't get your money, I don't know what you're spending your money on. Probably drugs. Prostitutes. But yeah, for any movie where Tom Cruise is going against Werner Herzog and Christopher McQuarrie is writing it, I'm in. So that is my movie I'm looking forward to. Justin, what are you looking forward to in December?
Boy. That's about it really for December.
There's that
the only other
there's that troll movie coming out. That troll movie with the little troll.
The
guys.
Hobbits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Hobbit.
I would Hyde Park on the Hudson.
You went all artsy on us. Go ahead, continue.
Let us know what this is.
What is this Hyde
Let me
Park?
put my pants on for a second.
I'll take them
Let me
off.
tell you a story.
Take that monocle out of your eye.
You know what it is?
No, I do not. Please explain it to me.
I'm
FDR.
clueless.
Bill Murray.
Oh
is FDR.
yes, I remember.
Really?
I heard about it like a couple months ago, but I haven't been tracking it. I know he was playing FDR, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I read that it was okay, but Bill Maher was pretty cool in it, pretty badass. So I'm interested to seeing how that plays out.
Is it dramatic? Is it a dramatic performance, or is it kind of like Wes Anderson?
It's a comedy drama film.
Okay.
And apparently he stands out pretty good. Apparently a couple of people stand out pretty good, but I don't know if it's a limited release or what. But
it sounds
that's
like
really
it
the
probably
only.
will be.
Yeah, let me see if I can check real quick. But yeah, I it's really the only other thing that, and then you have Lord of the Rings, and then the ones you guys mentioned.
Yeah. There's definitely some big movies coming out in December. So
I've been surprised
forward
by people who aren't that enthusiastic about Hobbit. I mean, I'm not like saying I'm over enthusiastic about it, but you would think just because it's the Hobbit that people are going crazy over.
But when you think about it, there really wasn't like a huge big fervor for the first Lord of the Rings movie. There was some, but there weren't a lot of people like losing their shit over it.
That's true.
I guess I remember kind of a little bit differently, but to me this seems more stale as opposed to before.
The Lord of the Rings. Oh, because
yeah.
I mean, the only big catching thing for me is that the experimental way he shot it with 48 frames a second stuff.
Oh,
so
that's really the only reason why I'd go see it.
That's it.
To see that.
I mean,
I don't know if I could deal with a whole movie that shot that way though. That's a little like too close to reality for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's why I really never was that big. I mean, I own them and I do enjoy them, but the whole prequel thing, gets to me.
Batman Begins is a prequel.
Is it a prequel?
That's a reboot. Like that's a reboot.
Beginning.
It's a reboot.
It's a reboot.
It's a reboot. There you go.
Try next time.
Damn it! I almost had him in my clutches. That will do it for the Simplistic Review Podcast. If you want to follow our reviews, follow us on simplisticreviews.blogspot.com. You can like us on Facebook on facebook.com/Simplistic Reviews. Twitter is
SR Blogspot.
For Justin Palizzi, Matt Stewart, I'm DJ Valentine.
Did you forget my name?
What is your name again? Is it Matthew Stewart? Matthew T. Stewart.
Bitch, just say Matthew Stewart.
I'm gonna call you I'm gonna call you Django.
D salad, motherfucker.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Less conversation, a little more action, please. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me. A little more fight.
The opinions of Matthew Stewart, DJ Valentine, and Justin Polizzi do not represent Simplistic Reviews, its staff or agents. Wait a damn minute. You three dummies run the f***ing site. How in the blue hell does your opinions not represented? Who the f*** wrote this crap? The shit stinks of pretentious, so it's gotta be Valentine. Were your boy this stupid or did you take lessons?